You've done everything right. You rested, you stretched, you maybe even went to physical therapy. And for a few weeks, maybe a few months, your back felt better. You thought, finally it's gone. I beat it. And then one morning, you reached down to pick up your shoes, or you stood up from your favorite chair, and there it was again. That burning, that sharp bolt of pain shooting down your leg, that feeling that stops you in your tracks. If that sounds familiar, I need you to stay with me right now, because what I'm about to share changes everything about how you think about sciatica. Because here is the truth that most doctors simply don't have time to explain to you. The pain going away does not mean sciatica is gone, and the reason it keeps coming back has almost nothing to do with what you think it does. It is not because you're getting older. It is not because your spine is just worn out, and it is absolutely not because you are stuck living like this forever. There is one very specific reason sciatica keeps returning for people over 60, and once you understand it, once you really see it clearly, everything changes. The way you move, the way you sit, the way you sleep, and most importantly, whether this pain controls your life or you control it. Stay right here. I'm going to walk you through all of it. Welcome to Prime Health Lab, the channel dedicated to helping you live stronger, move better, and feel more like yourself every single day. I'm so glad you're here today because this topic, sciatica, affects millions of seniors, and yet so much of what people believe about it is simply wrong. Let's start with the basics, and I promise I'll keep this short. Your sciatic nerve is the longest nerve in your entire body. It starts in your lower back, travels right through your buttocks, and runs all the way down each leg to your feet. When something presses on that nerve, or irritates it, you feel pain, numbness, tingling, or weakness somewhere along that path. That is sciatica. It is not a disease. It is a symptom. It is your body telling you that something in your lower back or hip area is putting pressure on that nerve. Now, the most common cause in seniors is a condition called lumbar spinal stenosis, which simply means the space around your spinal cord has narrowed. Another common cause is a herniated disc, where the cushioning between your vertebrae bulges out of place and pushes against the nerve. Both of these sound scary when you read them on a medical report. But here is what I want you to understand. The presence of these conditions does not automatically mean you will be in pain forever. Many people have narrowing in their spine and feel absolutely nothing. The question is what triggers the flare-up, and that is exactly what we are going to talk about. I want to tell you about a woman I'll call Margaret. She's 67 years old. She lives in Ohio. She loves gardening. She loves spending time with her grandchildren, and she was, until a few years ago, a very active woman. The first time sciatica hit her, it was terrifying. The pain down her left leg was so bad she could barely get out of bed. Her doctor ordered an MRI, found some disc degeneration, and told her to rest, take anti-inflammatories, and do some physical therapy. She did everything she was told. After about 6 weeks, the pain faded. Margaret felt relieved. She went back to her garden. She went back to her life. 3 months later, she bent down to pull a weed, and the pain came roaring back. Worse this time. Then it happened again, and again. Each time she rested, it faded. She went back to normal. Each time, it came back a little sooner. By the time Margaret came across the information I'm about to share with you, she had experienced 7 separate flare-ups in 2 years. She was starting to believe this was simply the rest of her life. Here is what nobody had explained to Margaret. And here is what I want to explain to you right now. Her pain was going away because the inflammation was calming down. But the thing that was causing the inflammation, the real root cause, was never addressed. It was still there, waiting. And every time she went back to her regular habits, it was only a matter of time before it triggered the nerve again. What was that root cause? I'm going to tell you. But first, I need to bust one of the biggest myths about sciatica that is keeping millions of seniors trapped in this cycle. Myth number 1. Rest is the best treatment for sciatica. When you are in terrible pain, everything in your body tells you to stop moving. And yes, in the very first 2 or 3 days of a severe flare-up, some rest makes sense. But here is what the research actually shows. Prolonged rest, staying in bed for days, avoiding all movement, stopping your normal activities for weeks, actually makes sciatica worse in the long run. Why? Because your muscles weaken. The muscles that are supposed to support your spine, that are supposed to take the pressure off that disc and those nerves, they lose their strength every single day you are inactive. And when you finally get up and move again, those weak muscles cannot do their job. The pressure goes right back on the nerve, and the cycle continues. Rest is not a cure. Rest is a pause button, and you cannot live your life on pause. Myth number 2. If it hurts, something is breaking down. This one is so important for seniors to hear. Pain is not always a sign of damage. Pain is often a signal, a warning from your nervous system that something needs attention. In fact, with sciatica, many people feel their worst pain not because something new has broken down, but because a long-standing imbalance has finally reached a tipping point. Your body is not falling apart. Your body is asking for help. There is a very big difference. Myth number 3. Surgery is the only real solution. Surgery can be the right choice in certain situations, particularly when there is significant nerve damage or when conservative treatment has truly failed after a long period of time. But for the vast majority of seniors with recurrent sciatica, surgery is not the answer, and many doctors will tell you the same thing. Studies show that most people with sciatica improve significantly with the right non-surgical care. And yet, many people jump to surgery or strong medications because nobody told them what actually works. Now, with those myths out of the way, let me tell you what is really causing your sciatica to keep coming back. The answer is something called muscle imbalance. And I want you to really sit with this concept, because it is the key to everything. Here is what happens as we get older, especially if we spend a lot of time sitting, in chairs, in cars, on the couch, watching television. The muscles at the front of our hips, called the hip flexors, get tight. They shorten, and when they shorten, they pull on your lower spine, tilting your pelvis forward. At the same time, the muscles in your glutes, your buttocks, and the muscles in your core, your abdominal region, they get weak. They stop supporting your spine the way they should. Now picture your lower back. When your hip flexors are pulling from the front and your glutes and core are too weak to hold from the back, your lower spine is under constant stress. That space around your sciatic nerve narrows a little more. The disc is under more pressure. And it doesn't take much, a simple movement, a bad night's sleep, a long car ride, to push that irritated nerve over the edge into a full flare-up. This is the muscle imbalance pattern, and it is almost universal in people over 60 who struggle with recurring sciatica. Here is the crucial part. When you rest and take medication and the inflammation goes down, the pain fades. But the muscle imbalance is still there. The tight hip flexors are still pulling. The weak glutes are still not supporting you. Nothing has changed. So 3 months later or 6 months later, your body reaches that tipping point again, and the pain returns. This is Margaret's story. This is the story of millions of people. And here is what makes this both frustrating and incredibly hopeful at the same time. This muscle imbalance is not permanent. It is not some inevitable result of aging. It developed over time because of how you've been moving and living, and it can be changed with the right targeted movement. Not just any exercise, the right exercise. Now, I also want to mention one more factor that many people completely overlook. Think about how much time you spend sitting each day. If you're like most seniors, it might be anywhere from 6 to 10 hours. Sitting in a soft couch, sitting at a kitchen table, sitting in your car. Every time you sit in a slumped position, back rounded, pelvis tucked under, head forward, you are putting enormous pressure on your lower lumbar discs. Studies have shown that sitting creates more pressure on the lumbar spine than standing. And if you are sitting in a poor position for hours every day, you are essentially applying a slow, constant compression to the very area where your sciatic nerve is already irritated. Then you stand up, and you wonder why you feel a jolt of pain. The way you sit is not a small thing. It is one of the most powerful habits you can change right now, today, without any equipment, without any doctor visit, that will immediately begin to reduce the load on your sciatic nerve. Sit toward the edge of your chair. Keep your feet flat on the floor. Think about sitting tall, like there's a string gently pulling the top of your head toward the ceiling. Your lower back should have a gentle curve, not be flattened against the back of the chair. And every 30 to 40 minutes, get up, walk to the kitchen, walk to the window, even just stand for 2 minutes. That movement changes the pressure on your discs and keeps blood flowing to the tissues around your nerve. Now, I am not going to give you a complicated exercise routine right now, because the most important thing first is for you to understand the principle. And the principle is this: lengthen what is tight, strengthen what is weak. For the tightness in your hip flexors, there is a simple stretch that costs you nothing. Kneel on one knee, or stand with one foot in front of the other if kneeling is not comfortable for you. Gently shift your weight forward until you feel a stretch in the front of the hip of the leg that is back behind you. Hold that for 30 seconds. Breathe. Do this on both sides, every single day. That simple stretch, done consistently, begins to reverse the pulling that tight hip flexors are doing on your lower spine. For your glutes, the most senior-friendly strengthening exercise is a simple bridge. You lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. You gently press your feet into the floor and lift your hips up until your body makes a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Hold for a moment. Lower slowly. Just 10 repetitions to start. The key is squeezing your glutes at the top. This movement begins to restore the muscular support your spine needs. And for your core, and I want to be very clear here, this does not mean sit-ups, which can actually put more pressure on a herniated disc. I am talking about gentle abdominal bracing. You simply breathe in, and as you breathe out, you gently draw your belly button in toward your spine, not forcing it, not holding your breath, just a light engagement. Practice this while you are sitting, while you are standing, while you are walking. It activates the deep core muscles that protect your spine constantly throughout your day. These are not miracle cures. I will not tell you these 3 things and promise that your sciatica disappears overnight. But they address the root cause, the muscle imbalance, in a way that rest and medication simply cannot. And done consistently over weeks and months, they change the environment around your sciatic nerve. They reduce the pressure. They reduce the frequency of flare-ups. And for many people, they eventually eliminate them. I want to come back to Margaret for a moment. After she understood what was actually causing her sciatica to return, she made 3 changes. She started doing the hip flexor stretch every morning before she got out of bed. She started doing bridges 3 times a week. And she started paying attention to how she was sitting throughout the day, getting up every 30 minutes to move. In the first month, she still had some discomfort, but her flare-up was shorter. In the 3rd month, she went through an entire month with no significant pain at all. She was back in her garden. She was down on the floor playing with her grandchildren. She told someone later that the difference was not a new medication. It was not a new doctor. It was understanding, finally, truly understanding, what her body needed and why. That is what I want for you. You have lived a long, full life. You have worked hard. You deserve to move freely. You deserve mornings without dread, afternoons without limitation, evenings without pain overshadowing everything else. Sciatica coming back is not your fate. It is a pattern, and patterns can be changed. If this video helped you today, please share it with someone you love, a spouse, a sibling, a friend, who is living in that same painful cycle. They deserve to know this too. And if you have not subscribed to Prime Health Lab yet, please do it now. We are here every week with real, practical, honest information to help you live your strongest, most independent life. Take care of yourself. You are worth it. And I will see you in the next one.
Prime Health Lab is dedicated to men's internal health. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.